and good morning. This is Showtime the Hype Man Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon on Philly Hott Radio. Callers, call in at 484-477-6348, or you can go to www.phillyhottradio.com and stream live on YouTube and Facebook Live. See ya! Hi, and welcome to the show. My name is Showtime the Hype Man on Philly Hott Radio Morning Show. I got a radio show. Sometime I got to pitch myself and know that I got a radio show. For those who are watching us around the world and those who like to tune in today, we got a special show, and I have an outstanding financially director that been trying to tell people how to make their money work with them because of the old wave. And we have watched how we conduct ourselves. We have watched how other people, banks come in our community, but when it's trying to get a loan or trying to do something, we have never learned how to invest. But we still have a show to do. I'm going to get into my show first. Before you get started, Showtime the Hype Man got a radio show. Hi, and good morning. This is Showtime the Hype Man Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon on Philly Hott Radio. Callers, call in at 484-477-6348, or you can go to www.phillyhottradio.com and stream live on YouTube and Facebook Live. See ya! That's right, we are broadcasting live on Instagram. Also, we're going broadcasting live on the YouTube channel. It's around the world. For those who like to tune in to watch, you can go to www.phillyhottradio. That's 2 T's. For those who like to go to YouTube, you can go to YouTube Philly Hott Radio. Also, for those who like to go to Instagram, that's on Instagram. I am Showtime as Mikkel. That is my Instagram account. But we'll be back on Facebook tomorrow because I'm in jail and penitentiary because I don't know what I did. I have my cousin here today, Norman, and he got 20 names. So who you want to be today?
Same Noah.
Noah. So he's here with me today. We're going to talk about, before we get started, we are still seeing mass shooting in the city of Philadelphia. And we're watching death and murders still being aggressive in the city of Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. We're seeing more than ever with young folks, and the guns are out of control, in the spirit of having a gun with a young man is 16 or 17, 18, 19, 20, even 13 or 14-year-old boys having guns, and what they watch on their PlayStations, and they watching, because I watch my grandson at 9 loves killing and stabbing on these new videos, how they market children mindset. And they done the same thing to us as coming up, where we had nothing to look forward to, so we got involved in gang war. We got involved in drugs. We got involved in robbing and stealing, slick and slogans, where everybody want to be tough in the spirit. But I have realized over the years that God has showed me a way. And I am learning and hand-on, because I come to this radio station, it's called The Laboratory. Well, anybody that has a business, anyone that has something that's inside of them, you got to understand it's called a laboratory. And I'm a scientist at this radio station. For me to be good, I have to come to the chemistry inside this laboratory radio station to be a better. I want to give a shout out to my little brother Kevin that's on Instagram. I want to thank you for tuning in. Also, the phone lines are open for those who like to call. This is a laboratory. Yesterday, I sat back and got a chance to watch my show. I belong on the radio. And not that what people think, what people say, I have a voice. And my cousin always would tell me, he said, your voice is different. He said, your style is different as a voice. And And I talked about this whole week where I came on this radio station with no guests, nobody was calling. People that I said was gonna come don't believe in my show. So I'm not mad at them. But I always had a saying: "Don't let me take off without you." And I keep telling people that I know that one favor of God, my spiritual God, that is going to change my whole life around. I truly believe that. So I want to give a shout out to all the mothers and fathers that have lost their sons in the streets of the city of Philadelphia. And we're seeing so many mothers and sons are dying in the streets of the city of Philadelphia. And I hope that by me talking about murders, I hope that Instagram don't shut me off, because anytime you talk about the community or saying something about the community, somebody will call up that don't want to wake us up. And I have seen that everything that I talk about when it comes to community, somebody in the community will call up Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and said he said something. What they do, they will look at my video and make sure that I didn't go by the policy. So I'm watching, I have to be careful. But what that tells us that they know that more blacks are watching social media. They know that more blacks are doing podcasts now than ever, because the radio stations are not giving us the real, true story. For those who are podcast radio, men and women, it's our job and our duty to get the message across. I don't care. You can sit there talking about music, or ain't nobody buying music no more. Let's get that clear. Nobody's buying music. And sure, nobody's buying no ticket to go to a show this year. So we have to this is a time to find a new way how to survive if you want to survive in this day of time. And I was reading somehow a lot of us have never been creative because jobs has allowed us not to be creative. We're not really hustling. We're hustling for a job. I don't want to work nowhere, and I know my cousin don't like working for nobody neither. He might have had a job since 1989 at the UPS, and he still got the package in his back trunk. They told him about 30 years of package. So basically, I'm going to get into the show. My name is Showtime. I want to thank my audience. I want to thank those who are broadcasting, watching me live around the world on the YouTube channel. I got a radio show. Before I introduce our artist today and our guest, I want to... Hi, and good morning. This is Showtime, the Hype Man Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon on Philly Hott Radio. Callers, call in at 484-477-6348, or you can go to www.phillyhottradio.com and stream live on YouTube and Facebook Live. See ya. That's right. For those who like to call in, and we'll like to hear your opinion or your solution. And I have put something up Monday about where they have returned a lot of guns in, but Philly Hott Radio, Showtime, the Hype Man Morning Show.
Good morning.
And good morning. How you doing?
I'm great. What's going on?
Well, you caller, so you are what's going on. What's going on, caller? He over there laughing.
I'm just trying to call to find out what y'all talking about today.
Well, what we are talking about, we're going to be talking about, I was sharing early on before we got started that another victim got killed last night in the city of Philadelphia. And it's important that because I have a podcast, I have a radio show, that it's important for me to know that we are concerned what's going on in the community. And it's important that I don't want to just have a audience and not really say nothing about the concerns of the murders and the young men's and the prison system, how when Joe Biden passed a policy that he's not going to sign a contract with those who vest in prison system and having black men in long terms in the prison system, they might have did a crime, really only supposed to be there for 3 years. They slapping 7 more years because the more the person in jail, the more revenue they make in these prison system. So these are the things. Then we're going to talking about digital money and coins, how you can take your money and invest. It's a lot that we are talking about, and I gave you a lot. So caller, so what do you want to say?
I appreciate that. I just wanted to make sure what you were talking about and give me your contacts to get on your show.
Well, who is you? I still know who you are.
My name is Ron.
Okay.
I actually met you a while ago. You don't remember?
Okay, Ron. Well, thank you. Well, what you can do, you can take my number, or you can go on the website www.phillyhotradio. Also, you can email me if you want to come on the show. I don't know. So, what type of business you do?
Well, basically, I'm a retired old man.
Well, it's okay. You're never old, because that's when we start being more creative, because the more we do that, the better we become creative, and that takes away the old time disease. A lot of people set in the old ways when we say we old, but we really young in the spirit. Age is nothing but a number. Because we live in this country all our lives, we only adapt to what they say. But the universe of our ancestors lived 140, and they still say they're young. It's the what we've been adapted to, and the mindset has allowed us to think that. I don't care if you're 70, 80, 90. If you got a spirit of youth that God gave you, I don't get into age. If I can have sex at 90 years old, I'm going to do what I'm doing. I'm going to have some fun. So I just want to give you that energy level. We ain't old, brother. And you not old at all. I don't care how old you are.
Brother, I appreciate that. Your energy, your knowledge, and evidently your experience, it puts out a wonderful, wonderful message, and I appreciate that.
Well, okay, well, basically, just go to www.Philly Hot Radio. Then also you can call me at 267-481-6764. We always can talk. I'm looking for new, young, old people that's young in the spirit, and that can help us, because your knowledge and your information can help out too. So we all can collaborate together and help each other.
All right, 481, what, give that number again?
That's 267 481-6764.
Thank you, brother, and it's really hot ready. Okay, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate that.
Okay, good. So for those who want to call up, and we appreciate the phone call, and a lot of people watching this show, but we're not used to interacting on topics. So it's important that for those who are watching me on Instagram, I am showing you how the chemistry of this laboratory inside this radio station works. You just heard a man share about energy, how he felt my energy through the phone. And because we are used to low energy people that's in power or in control, and mostly people that think they have it all, because you have money in the house, sometimes all that stuff, you're still missing something. And we have seen in the last 20 and 40 years where we have watched other people do things and dictate things in across this great nation. For those who's sitting right now watching me, and this ain't the first time somebody told me it's my energy. I had a lady that called me today and remember what I told her, and she thanked me as being a student of knowledge of me sharing. My wife always just say that you are way ahead of a lot of people, but it's the people that think they in charge or waiting for to be in charge again had count me out. And I'm grateful for the count out and the darkness and all the doors. Let me tell you why. See, that give me enough time to add up stuff. Okay, I'm sitting outside, but they thought they blocked me out. And we have watched every city what they do. So, my name is Showtime the Hype Man. I got a radio show We're talking about where's your energy level and what is your goal. So we're going to bring our guests in, but for now, for those who like to come in and call. Hi, and good morning. This is Showtime the Hype Man Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon on Philly Hot Radio. Callers, call in at 484-477-6348, or you can go to www.phillyhotradio.com and stream live on YouTube and Facebook Live. See ya. So we're about to introduce our guest. This is a family member of mine. We have became close. We do a lot of stuff together. We maybe not made $5 million or more, because $5 million means we gotta hustle some more. Because we make $5 million, and a lot of people might understand that, we want to continue to find how we made that $5 million and how can I duplicate that and do the same system. Money is based on a system when you make it. And you say, well, if I made $10,000, I need to do the same thing that made that other 10. So, ladies and gentlemen, Nova is here to explain more about money, about coin, about digital. For those who like to call up to watch and maybe you can get some knowledge. He has been working up, being a father, being a mother, raising his children. He have done so many things, but he's still at nighttime vested. I want to thank him for coming on the show. I know he had a lot on his plate, but he came here to share the knowledge on Philly Hot Radio. Showtime ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
You on Facebook? You on
Yes,
YouTube?
how y'all doing? We just here basically today to give up an introduction to cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is a new form of money or energy, monetary energy that we can exchange each other with. Cryptocurrency is actually changing the way money works. In the 80s, we had, late 80s, early 90s, we had the internet come out. The internet made it so we could exchange information. At a speed of light. So I could send you an email and you would get it right away. So now what we have coming is being able to exchange value the same way we could exchange information easily as just sending a text to somebody or sending an email. We can send videos, music, all kind of stuff through that internet. Now we done opened the door to being able to transfer value. So instead of, you could take yourself, just say, for instance, you could go to China. You could fly to China right now, and I could just, from my phone, I have my wallet on my phone, I could just send you some money, and it'll be there within 10 minutes. No banks involved, no middlemen, nobody to stop the transaction. And cryptocurrency, a lot of people know Bitcoin, but that's just one cryptocurrency. There's many cryptocurrencies out here with different use cases. So we're here to just explain cryptocurrencies in a way that the average person can get it. So I would take it all the way back to the you gotta go back in history. I take it all the way back to the 80s and say, well, in the 80s we had beepers. Everybody in the neighborhood had a beeper. All the businessmen, the doctors and stuff, the lawyers. You had a beeper. You get a call. That would be a form of information coming to you within the speed of light. You look at that. You dial that phone number, that person. Then we moved up from beepers to cell phones. We went from cell phones and the cell phones were actually analog. So then we went from analog cell phones to digital cell phones. Same thing with your TV. We had the little antennas. If you go way back, people remember used to stick the hanger inside the TV when your antenna was broke. And that went from that to like digital antennas on your roof, your satellite systems and stuff like that. So now we're in the age now where the whole money system is going digital. It's not too hard to understand, but you have to get in the game to understand it. It's like if you want to learn how to swim, you gotta get in the swimming pool to learn how to swim. So I encourage most people to, at least take a look at this thing and see where it might take you, because with you or without you, that system is here and it's coming. So that's what I implore most of us to do.
Well, for those who are watching us on Instagram and those who are watching, we're definitely on live on YouTube, and this will broadcast live. I want to ask you a question, because what you have seen by having classes, and you talked about, like, I can be over Russia, China, over Jamaica, and just like Cash App, where by me being a part of the Bitcoins, that I can have my wallet like my phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I can be in a jam or a store, and I can go into my account and register right back into my checking account, and know that I have the money, that I'm safe, that I have the money. What are you seeing when people always run into Bitcoin and not believe in it, but will take a chance with a little bit of money and not seeing what they thought? If you got $150, you know it's going to be a process.
Mm-hmm.
But let's push it. Philly Hott Radio, Philly Hott Radio, Showtime the Hype Man, morning show. Hello.
Yes, hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. I was told to call.
But it's okay. That means you're inexperienced in the radio. How you doing? Welcome to Philly Hott Radio, Showtime the Hype Man morning show. We're talking about digital coins and money. Do you have any experience, or have you invested in the new technology, the ways of things are going? We was talking about when beepers first came out. Everybody had beepers. We're talking about now that everybody have cell phones. And so we're talking about, really, we use them because people can relate to beepers and buying beepers when doctors and everybody in this country had beepers at one time. Now, just like these phones are out right now, somebody is working on something else right now. So thank you, caller, for calling. So any questions you want to ask?
Not currently. I'm just, I guess, here as a student to learn more. I am invested in cryptocurrency, but I'm still learning in that arena as well.
So maybe we have an expert here to maybe can help you, and maybe you can ask him some questions from your experience, or what made you attractive, what made you be attracted to him telling you about this, and what made you want to join in and take this chance. So the expert is here, or maybe you can ask him a little questions.
Okay. I'm currently invested in Bitcoin as a miner, and also in Tether as just a passive investor. What other coins do you feel could reach the heights of a Bitcoin currently?
Well, currently, right now, it can reach that height probably XRP, which is the company is Ripple. We got another one called XLM, which is Stellar Lumens. If you go to coinmarket.com, you can look up your prices to find out, current prices. Most of these are very cheap right now. You got one called Elron Gold that I will think will reach a kind of, high heights. Elron Gold is about $50 right now for one. XLM, I think, is around 25 cents, and XRP is about 27, 28 cents right at the current time. I don't got the exact prices, but yeah, so we got a couple opportunities out there. You have, you can almost right now, because of the game, we're so kind of early in it, you can almost look at your top 20 on CoinMarketCap and just put them on the board and throw a dart at one of them. You probably gonna get lucky. But what's going on, Zay? I didn't catch your voice at first. That's Zay, right?
You know it, big bro. How you
What's
doing?
going on? I didn't catch your voice at first. It took me a
Hey
minute.
Zay, this is Showtime the Hype Man. I'm glad you called, and I'm glad you paid attention when someone tell you to call. That's a good thing. So, what do you see in the future by you getting educated? Because I know that he knows what he's talking about. And why is that it's hard to sell it to our families, to friends that we grew up? What is the difference being trustworthy when something is new that's coming up and we don't never invest money to be a believer? And you, before you do this, you have to believe in this for this going to work for you, but also patient. What was you when you first did it, or did Noah had to keep preaching to you, or you said you got on the first time, or he kept calling you up?
Noah and I have built a pretty strong relationship very quickly. My interest into cryptocurrency came from an elder brother, and subsequently via another younger brother that was in the same community. So I'm a vegan, and in this vegan community, these brothers are talking about cryptocurrency. Now, you're absolutely right about the belief factor, but unfortunately, only the 144 are coming in right now. And what I mean by that is those that are already conscious or already on a path. Those individuals are primed for this type of information because they're already in the process of ascending. Those that are not, it's going to take them a little bit longer because the trust factor, even those that are in the conscious community that are not truly conscious, they haven't jumped on board yet. So because Noah and I are both conscious, we had similar lives, which is kind of scary. It was a no-brainer. It was really a no-brainer. And the belief factor wasn't really in Noah. It was in me. It was knowing that the information that I was disseminating was actually true. So most people who haven't reached that point yet are going to be on the fence.
Wow. Yeah, because I have a new radio show, and I'm watching the audience that watches me every day, and we are used to the old radios, what we hear in our car, and also as a new wave of social media has hit this country out of the world. And because of me understanding that the new wave, I want to live in the 21st century, I better pay close attention what is going on and catch the new wave. Those are going to be in that cage. I was talking about the familiar cage where most people are comfortable with the same way, the same things. They're not reprogrammed their mind. They're not willing to go a new way. Even with religion, money ways, they just bank on the bank, go to the bank, pay all this interest rate. And I have paid a close attention of the intersection that I'm on, and I am excited about technology. I'm excited about the new wave and learning new things and not afraid to take some money and put it in any stock less I do when I do my research, because I have to follow the other people that have been doing it for the last 20 years, and I see why they are ahead of us because they get information. When we get information, it's already done, and they go into a whole new situation. So this thing is for us to grab it now. We keep missing the gap, and we never play catch up because once they get it to us, it was already out there 20 years, and they got all the stocks, they got all the money, and then someone come with a new idea. So I'm all about the new wave. I believe that this new way of living for me, and I'm grateful that it's going to help me stay younger, because the more I learn new technology and the more I reinvent myself, I keep my spirit and my belief, because I have experienced so many things what God will do for me when I didn't have the money to get it, or my back was against the wall. I have lived long enough to know that my creator and the spirit that I live has showed me that having faith and fear is the way to go when you want to do anything. So anything you want to say?
That's right. Well, just like even now, we got something happened within the last 2 days with GameStop as a stock. So I don't know if people heard about with GameStop. If you look at GameStop, everybody knows the little shops that's around it, selling games to all the kids. But that stock is going skyrocket crazy. So as it's going crazy, it's because some little folks found out what the bigger guys with all the money was doing. So they start shorting the market on the GameStop and start buying all the GameStops up, the stocks up, and which is running the price up. So as they got some kind of almost like insider trader information. So now they're actually buying and running the stock up, but then you find out about, just like when, not to bring politics in it, but when Trump was doing what he was doing, and they shut his Twitter feed off and, like kind of boxed him out, and folks kind of saying, yeah, they like that. That's good. Yeah, shut him down. But at the same time, it's, if they can shut somebody that powerful down, what can they do to you? So when these people are buying these stocks and they're using the new apps like Robinhood and Webull and what they did was say, you know what, we shutting it down. So y'all can't even buy the stock. So right now, they could get in and make a nice little come up if they wanted to, but Robinhood themselves just said, you know what, that's it. We shutting trading down on it, so y'all can't buy it. So the fact that some of these social media companies and some of these tech companies have so much power to just shut you down when they want to is not good. So we have to start, looking at things where we're being more in control, and that's where even with cryptocurrency, when you have your own wallet and you hold your own crypto, you are in control of opposed to another entity being in control of your situation. So can't nobody shut your bank account down when there's no bank account. That's like somebody going in your pocket and telling you you can't spend your money or you can't do what you want with your money. You got it in your pocket. They can't stop you. So that's where we got to get to with this technology, where we're doing things to take us outside of their realm, so to speak, and we be more in control of it.
So basically, for those who are watching me, and caller, you can stay on too. What he just said, that it's important for those who are listening. You have a mastering ear listener. A lot of us think that we can hear, we can see, but because you never learn how to master your vision and master your hearing, and because of that, we are missing so many financial opportunities that has spin around the community that I come from. We watching pop stores popping up, and we're not seeing new development and new vision to make us think and dream or even get a little peace. Even though we see the stock news on your cable channel, none of us going to go there and really say, let me take a picture of it or let me see it. Because of the old way, the way the little banks that come in our community zack all our money, then when you go apply for a loan, they want to look at this credit score stuff and deny you because of your credit. And now, what is because of the economy has took a crash, now they giving people cars with 300 credit. Now they giving loans with bad credit before they wasn't doing it. Because of this crash that's going on and this crisis, more people then also by Joe Biden signing a policy bill against discrimination, and so many blacks are way behind even with a good job. Because we got a job at the police, a black man or a fireman or a city job or electrician, where some of the jobs we got, but the key jobs where we see that we're not in it, they have closed the gap on us, but because we are too busy fighting each other and not getting knowledge and information, I've always shared knowledge on this radio station. Because of the old way where people had dictate what should you do, because I don't have a celebrity or a star come on my show, but ordinary people are the ones that's going to make it in the 21st century. Because everybody else is stuck in the cage with the degree, going to Penn State, getting a bachelor degree and signing all that stuff. Today, it's all about intuition, where you have a master degree in education, master degree in scientist, but you are missing, all you got is some book knowledge from a professor, another man that taught you. But what happened was, for those who want to survive in the 21st century, it's about the intuition, baby. And the intuition is going to go past a lot of people. And the other people are going to be stuck in the cage. So if you want to piggyback on something on that, caller, you can piggyback what I just said.
No. Well, I'm on the call, so I might as well add just one caveat. The point that we have to see as visionaries, because and pioneers, because that's who we are currently, is just patience. You know, eventually they're going to come around. It's just inevitable. So it's a little bit frustrating because we can see what we can, but ultimately, because we're already positioned, we're going to be in a much greater position to truly assist them. We're going to be very, very busy. So I'm really not focused on those who can't see. I'm more focused on the ones who can, because that concentrated power isn't going to take much to make us really, really, really explode in this industry. And again, you know, because we've been damaged, you know, and that's the main thing, and misguided in all areas of life. It's no wonder why there are not hundreds of people on this call, or even thousands of people on this call. So we have to give them the breath that they need in order to feel comfortable to even deal with each other again. And once that happens, you know, it's for us, it's already a foregone conclusion. And for them, you know, there'll still be opportunity, because this crypto market it's unlimited. It's truly unlimited. So, but yeah, I'm not worrying about them. I'm to us.
That's right.
Those that see it, and I'm happy knowing that I will be one of the grandfathers, if you will, in this new movement.
Wow. Well, we want to thank you for calling and holding on, and I'm glad that I like to thank you for calling, and you're definitely welcome to come to the show to share some of your knowledge and let people know where you at from this day, from the next time, to do a call back again about this, because we're going to build this show up. This is going to be one of the biggest new shows around the world talking about this, and by seeing us and seeing the same people that looks like us, we're going to build something up. And I want to be a great grandfather. Since you want to be a grandfather, I want to go be the great grandfather of this. And I want to thank you for calling. Thank you so much. Anything you want to say to before he leave?
Appreciate everything you said, Zay, man. Keep it tight, always, man. I always got good information.
Good
Bill, this is like my brother.
Good.
Ain't known him that long, but it's like my brother.
Well, that's a good thing. Well, you heard it live on Philly Hott Radio. Thank you, caller.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hi, and good morning. This is Showtime the Hype Man Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon on Philly Hott Radio. Callers, call in at 484-477-6348, or you can go to www.phillyhottradio.com and stream live on YouTube and Facebook Live. See ya. That's right. For those who are watching us, we're broadcasting live on Philly Hott Radio. Showtime the Hype Man got a radio show. And I am committed, just like stocks and radio stations, for those who like to even invest in Philly Hott Radio, we have so many opportunities for us where the more money and the more marketing and the more people come aboard here, is going to help all of us because I have a great spirit. And I have a spirit to lead and build something. And I understand that everything that we build, people buys out because money is power. And because so many black radio stations has been bought, not to be racist, I want to make that clear to Instagram because it's a community. Instagram and Facebook and Twitter are a community, so I don't want to say that, but I watch other radio stations do. When I do it, somebody call up and say Showtime say something racist, and it be your own people that is racist against you. So I have to be careful when it comes to language. I want to read somebody said something on Instagram. My son is 26 years old. He had been invested for 2 years and got me in about 4 months ago, and I love the marketing money. We have a call. We have someone here. Can you talk about the investment in 2 years? Where if I invested $150, or if I invested $5,000, or what is it now that you have to put in for the first time being investment because someone is paying attention what we are doing? So we want to thank those. So we're going to answer that question. Also want to thank Abdullah. This is my little young brother that's watching me, and I want to appreciate him watching me. That's from the heart. So if I put in $1,000, and I know that stocks goes up and down, but I've been looking on a lot of commercials, and those in the morning, you stroll down in the morning, you're seeing so many advertising for coins now. Everybody got their own commercial, they doing this. Do they have fake ones out there that can lure people into? So, and people put their money, never see. That's like we was going around when the COVID-19, people was putting in $500 and telling you will get $40, $20 every month, and this susu and all this stuff, and all I heard is susu got quiet all of a sudden because someone came up with an idea that was a genius. But people that have money did it, but somebody did it in the poor section, and when that the poor piece opened them doing, they've been taking $10,000 and $100,000 in share and banking on that those who have money and serious what they're doing. So someone saw the value of doing that and maybe put it down in the poor community at that time, and everybody was doing the 200, the 100. Mostly foreigners that come in this country does that, like Jamaicans, Haitis, and what they have, because all they got is each other, but they love their land. And because they love their land and the native their tongue, if you sit in a room with a Haiti or a Jamaican or a Chinese or a Russian, they can go to their own native tongue and start speaking another language right in front of you at the table. Kobe Bryant, this week was the death of Kobe Bryant. But Kobe Bryant had a native tongue where he can speak 7 different languages. If a black man can speak 7 different languages, that's 7 ways of making money in different foreign countries. So, because he can speak the language in China, Italy, Russia a little bit, that gave him advantage of me just speaking one language in the native tongue. And we realized they took Spanish and English, Spanish and French out of schools. When we was growing up, those were 2 languages that they had in the public schools in the city of Philadelphia. I hope they don't cut me off because I'm talking about knowledge. Where we have, and the reason why that our community is sick, because our native tongue was taken from us over 300 years ago. And they have gave us a new language, so we have never learned the spirituality, and we go around the table with all these other people in different countries, and then all of a sudden they talking another language, and we sitting there like a space cadet, don't know what they talking about. So imagine, because we live in this country all our life, and we sitting here talking, and we have two Hades or Jamaica or Russia over here sitting with us, and they go into their native tongue, that gave them power over our board meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all may be not aware what I just told you because you keep watching me. And you keep watching people that tell you he don't know what he's talking about. Half of y'all don't know what the native tongue is. And the native tongue cuts your spirit. So when they cut your voice and your spirit of your language, it cuts your spirit of being successful. It allows you to stay in the cage. It allows you to stay in a barn. It allows you to stay in somewhere long enough because your native tongue and your spirit was cut off. Elijah Muhammad talked about the native tongue in 1965. But because of we was on dope and drugs and we never understood the language of his religion, but it wasn't about the religion, it was the knowledge that he was saying that we have to be self-sufficient. Nobody believed in what he was saying. It's a song when James Brown, God had left Georgia. And James Brown said that I don't want nobody to give me nothing. Just open up the door. And he didn't have the education. Sammy Davis Jr., during the time when he was hanging with Dean Martin and all them, and he was making close to $25,000 a week. But everybody was calling him an Uncle Tom, but he said, I'm not an Uncle Tom. I'm helping y'all so you can get to another era where blacks has never been at. But God gave me a gift with dancing. Even though Showtime the Hype Man was dancing at the Dell, I had a gift, but all the people didn't understand my gift and what I was doing. And because of the native tongue of the African spirit of dancing, y'all looked at me and family members like I was crazy. Oh, he crazy. Well, I got a radio show. And that's crazy too. But I had learned how to create it. So, this coincides with digital money, what I just said. What are you getting out when you call people and you gave them 2-hour conversation and then they tell you, call them back, and when you call them. So I want you to give me a feedback because people need to hear the negative where people are not in tune for what you're telling them. And you worked hard and they should respect your knowledge. Nobody knows that he be down at the laboratory in his own basement on his laptop searching and finding and taking money here, even trying the new ones, but find out that they're not going to help his people and he's not going to sell his soul to our people because he understands that he are committed to make sure that we get the rights like everybody else. So what do you want to share our audience about that?
Well, when it comes to me, speaking to people, you got a lot of naysayers or people who don't believe or whatever, for whatever. I really, when somebody push back, I'm just going to leave you alone and go somewhere else because it's not me so much selling the product, even though we do have some investments that we can get into, some different little passive incomes because what you got AI, like the automation, all the automated stuff is about to take a whole lot of jobs. So in the next 10, 20 years, a lot of even say Uber drivers may be out of business. A lot of the trucking, a lot of people going to the big trucks, they may be out of business because a lot of that's going to be automated with robots and electronic stuff. So you need to figure out, or all of us need to figure out how to get more passive streams of income where we sending our money out to work opposed to us just trading our labor for the money. Mm-hmm. So when I'm telling folks, it's just to give you a heads up that this is coming. Look into it. Help me learn. We all learn together and we all grow together. It's not about me trying to get you to team up with me and I'm trying to get you to help me, so to speak, almost like a susu, because like when the susus came, there's nothing wrong with the susus. The fact is, if you join the susu, you're gonna have to, whoever gives in money, that's who, like the people you bring in, that's who's gonna pay you. So when the people stop coming in, or people say, "Oh, I put some money in, I didn't get paid," that's because you didn't bring your people in, and they keep the thing going. So it has to be a constant rotation of the money. So what a susu does is we say, "All right, come on, you give it 200, next one, next one." Once that ball stops, yeah, somebody getting left with that ball. So that's why susus pretty much don't work, because people don't keep going. They think, "Oh, I just put my money in and I don't have to do nothing else." No, them people had to come in. But where cryptocurrency comes in at, even in the form of a susu, you have cryptocurrencies that act like susus now. You don't have to worry about people coming in, but you can put your money in a cryptocurrency such as a node, or you can start staking them. And when you put it in, it just gives you more. So you don't have to worry about a whole bunch of people coming behind you. So these folks done figured it out, and that's how I looked at it. I said, "Well, dang, now you can do this over here." Now they say, "Oh, here, y'all can have it now. Y'all can have the susu system now. We'll open it up to y'all in America real bigger than it's ever been opened before." But now we have another electronic way of doing this that makes it much easier for us. And it's like, "Oh, here, give them that." So, and we felt at that. But me, I don't have to sit down and explain things to people unless they want to hear it. If they want to hear it and want to like learn more, I'll talk to you. If you push back or anything, you don't, all right, fine, see you. Just remember, if you're a friend of mine or you're somebody close to me, I just say, "Remember that I told you." So you don't come back to me, years from now saying, "Dad, you was doing that, and you ain't even say nothing." So I don't want to hear that kind of talk from nobody.
Wow, wow. I'm glad you said that. For those who are watching us, and I know that Instagram, it's new for me, and I'm glad that what happened to me last week with being in jail, it also would benefit me for those who have Instagram accounts to watch me live. And I have found the new technology, and I played with my phone that I'm on. I invested into a laptop myself. And sometimes it looks blurry of me learning how to focus on my laptop, where people are sitting home just by their phone, seeing all their money into investments. We have never been taught how to invest our money for real. And because we all smart, because we got a Mercedes or a single home, we look at that they smart people. Because someone has a single home and they living nice off a job credit, off the credit union, and all that stuff is good. But the other people are way ahead of us. If you look at how they are moving back into the city, in other cities now, in Detroit, Chicago. See, when I say something about Philadelphia, they'll call up the elected officials and tell them that I said something. So I don't want to say nothing about Philadelphia. I'm reaching out for those who are in Detroit, Chicago, New York City, Boston, South Carolina, North Carolina. I'm looking for a whole new audience. The city where we at not gonna understand because I was born and raised in this city, and because I don't have a material thing, or people might think I got a lot of money, so they're not gonna rally behind me, or I don't have a celebrity here today. You're watching rich right now because I know that the native spirit of me said that I was rich when I was born, with eyes and ears and how to talk and speak. So that tells me that I'm rich, but because of the knowledge that my parents didn't have to teach me as a young man and show the value of dollars and cents. But they showed me to go to school and get a good job, and that's supposed to equal up to nothing but this paying bills. Ladies and gentlemen, we on something here today. And I'm glad that he came in to talk about this topic. I know that it may seem strange to a lot of us. It's strange when I come here to work all this new system and I think I finally got it. Because I was important for me how to come here and work this system. For those who like to invest or call up on the phone right now and maybe want to sign up, but got some scary money. You got your money in the bank, you're letting it sit, You might got some case money that goes real fast. And those who have maybe had case money know that that money go fast because you waited so long. And for you know that $10,000 and $5,000 is going on material. And those who haven't waited, like the little stores and the jewelry store or the Gucci pocketbook woman you got, only thing she wants you for that time till the money runs out. That's a true fact, ladies and gentlemen. And the man that pimping the women that will be around her, she can weigh 400 pounds, but he'll find somebody he love her because she got that money. But talk a little more about, you've been doing this for a while, and I hope that you can come back and maybe we can start a show with this, because you came here before with some other people, and no disrespect to them, but I believe that God maybe wanted you to sit on the side for yourself and be and learn more, and learn how to know that who I'm coming around me, that's going to be in my best interest, and not try to think I'm in it because they're another native tongue. And they'll go around their people speaking another language. See, we have got to learn how to really understand what we're going. So, someone asked here, how you get started, or do you have classes that maybe they may not sign up, but you can give them a little bit of education and make them come back, and next time they may come back and bring some more people because they heard but they didn't sign, but they came to your class, and maybe they need to come two times maybe for them to really go in their pocket or go to their bank or their credit union and get a loan out and take this money and try it in the tube. Or people that maybe took the money and saw the investment. So they want to know, do you have classes, or there's going to be more education about this on Philly Hot Radio? I don't know he's going to be committed every week because he has so many hats. But he might be committed one time out a month. He can come here maybe if it does. But if we see an overwhelmed large audience, numbers means a lot for him. If he see 2,000 people and this phone constantly ringing, he know he better get his ass in his seat.
That's right. Well, we do classes. They go flyer. The first class we actually did, but we just had one actually last Sunday. So I'm always doing different classes on crypto. The next class is probably going to be February, near the second week or the end of February. I'll announce it and send it to you. You can announce it on future shows and stuff. But yeah, we always having classes, and the introduction to cryptocurrencies for beginners. That class the total is $80 for that class. It's usually 2 sessions. We'll do one session. It's about 3 hours, depending on how fast we can get through it. And it's live. We're not doing Zooms and stuff like that, even though we can. If I do Zooms, I would do one-on-one Zooms with people, or maybe 2 or 3 people. Keep it small because it's kind of hard. It's more or less, I'm going to say, a workshop. We do a workshop where we show you how to get your wallets, get on exchanges, buy your first couple of different cryptocurrencies, and build from there. So we won't. I won't do a big Zoom like even in the class. When we do the live class, I only have 10 to 12 people at best in those classes because of the COVID. If this COVID, ceases, we'll have more. We'll do much more, a lot more often, like maybe weekly classes or something, because we have to get up to speed with this whole industry, because this industry is rolling out and they're not telling nobody. It's like if you was looking at when the car was built. So you got manufacturers, Ford, they start running the conveyor belts, building the cars faster and stuff. They start paving the highways, getting rid of the cobblestones and all that. So people was looking back saying, what am I gonna do with that car? Ain't nobody, I got my horse and my buggy. And the railway was being built right in your face. So they didn't take heed to it. The same thing is happening right now. These railways are being laid out. It's a whole super highway, super value highway, like it was the super information highway back when we was coming up, that we didn't take advantage of the internet. We could have gotten on the .coms and a whole lot of that stuff and been ahead of the game. We didn't pay attention. The same thing is happening right now. And they distract you with all kind of stuff out here going on, but this, what they call a great reset is coming. They changing the money as we speak right now. Things are happening in the markets. You can see something's happening. If you a stockbroker or any type of financial investor that been in the game for years, if you're still in the game and you've been in it for years, if you're paying attention, you know something right now is happening. You just might not, can't put your finger on it. You know, you like, what, something's going on. This, you know, all the metrics is out of course. You know, COVID hits and the stock market is way up here, still up high. It's like, how the heck everything shut down, but the stock market like this? So you know something's out of order.
Wow, that's a good question. For those who are watching, we are broadcasting live on Philly Hot Radio, Showtime the Hype Man morning radio show. Hi, and good morning. This is Showtime the Hype Man morning show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon on Philly Hot Radio. Callers, call in at 484-477-6348, or you can go to www.phillyhotradio.com and stream live on YouTube and Facebook Live. See ya. So we're broadcasting live on Philly Hot Radio. Showtime the Hype Man has a radio show, and this is a radio show that I hope that other people in other cities will come and do a call-in. You don't have to do a Zoom. We can do a live interview on the phone. And the technology, I was calling the producer yesterday, and he made a suggestion that maybe I needed, for me, I'm not strong in all areas, and I know that. And most people can't talk like I do. I know that too, with areas that I'm weak at. But because we don't know how to ride the old buggy and do things collectively, because we'll find fault because we don't see the shining part. Those who have made it understand the value of people and bringing people in a team where they're weak at. And I've been introducing myself for 19 months. I've been on this radio show, and still people are saying in society, I don't care because I'm a positive person, that this is not a radio show. Well, let me touch myself and let me do this again since y'all didn't hear it. Hi, and good morning. This is Showtime the Hype Man morning show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon on Philly Hot Radio. Callers, call in at 484-477-6348, or you can go to www.phillyhotradio.com and stream live on YouTube and Facebook Live. See ya. So whoever want to call in right now, you can get 25 hours to get started. They will give you free. We're going to give you a 25 hours. And Bitcoins. Right live on Philly Hot Radio. For those who maybe 25 hours, maybe not seen, but it will give you a way into the door of us giving you 25 hours to start you off. So those who like to call up, the phone number is 267. That is my phone number, but you can call the radio station now at 484-477-6348. For those who would like to maybe interested in the new way that money is changing right front of our eyes. Or we are too busy to really look at it. Now, I'm going to ask him a question. I just vested about 7, 8 months ago.
So not that long. About 3 months, maybe.
Yeah, about 3 or 4 months. So what I need to do to see the static of mine, if we came here and I showed my fans that I vested in $150 for the first time. What most people scared to even invest $150. They'll do 20. What about $20? No. So at the time, so how could I demonstrate to show my audience where what I did, an investment in the digital coin and where I'm at static, or even seeing 50 Cent in it or whatever. So how would a person that's watching us that still don't have the basis of how to do the technology, because I'm not going to get it all in the first day, but I might need someone to help me to see my account, how it's on my phone, and where it's going at.
Well, we would just sign into your account. See, your investment was, and you got lucky actually, because those same little $150 miners that the company was offering back then are not offered now. The smallest miner now is, I think, about
He's out
two,
lucky.
2000, 2000 and I think it's like 2,700 for the smallest miner. Let me see something. So we would just sign into your account, because he's in a that company is called VBit that you actually did the $150.
Okay.
We would just sign into your account, look inside your wallet, and we could actually show them what we're doing on a different show. You know your passwords and everything.
I don't know nothing.
Right. All right.
I
So
haven't
you
even
don't
touched
know.
that.
So we would set it up for a different show, I guess. Log into your account, and we can actually show them
I
the
would
numbers.
love to do that,
Yeah, we
because
can do that.
I'm not so it's not nobody can come get me
Or,
after the
or
show.
we'll say this. Let's do it next Thursday. We'll just come on the show and do it live
You said
next Thursday, and we'll show
so.
them.
We do an advertisement and do a commercial. So what we're gonna do for those who are watching us, and those who maybe think that we are bluffing, we're gonna demonstrate live on Philly Hot Radio. Morning show with Showtime the Hype Man, and Nova's gonna come on here. We're gonna show how to log in with your money, how to look for your password, how to check on your account. We're gonna do a demonstration. I think that's powerful what we just did, where we can get non-believers. I hope that I can get a jet screen, maybe can go on the wall for those who are watching us on YouTube channel, because we want to catch our audience. Our job is to be attractive to the audience. And because we're not paying attention, we believe that by planting the seed today for him to come back next 30, so that's a commitment that he said. And we're going to start on 10 o'clock this time, because I think that we're going in another direction. And this platform is going to get another views. Don't get mad if you see Asians and white people coming on this show, because they got heart. They're not afraid. Don't get mad at us because we're telling y'all, but y'all get mad at us because we turn you on to something because you don't believe in spending money. We have to learn how to spend money on each other. What is the problem? Because you have did black soap CDs, you have done a lot of black marketing at one time. What made you change? Because you went from one person doing something, you was into it, and you was building a name for yourself, but you saw how these other mindsets of your brothers and sisters will take kindness and get stock but not pay back. Did I say that right? And then they will come to you like it was for free, but they talk a good game. Why is that the community that I come from have never learned how to spend money on each other? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, one thing, if you're taught not to love yourself,
Come on.
and know yourself, so if you don't know yourself and you got a degree of self-hatred embedded in you from education, post-traumatic slavery syndrome or whatever, like stuff we've been beaten down all these years, folks don't want to, it's the old, that ice is colder on the other side of the street, that kind of thing. So we have people who don't like themselves. So if you go into business, it's like you go to this business, and I mean, I don't understand something, especially like when it comes to people, especially folks who like designer things. You like these Gucci bags and all this, and you brag about how much you spend. But then when you come to my shop or come into another brother or sister shop, give me the deal. Now you want the best price. But you'll brag about paying $10,000 for this whatever new pocketbook that comes out of this designer. But when you come to your brother got a little mom and pop store or something, you know, you want the best deal and you're mad because his price might be a little higher or something like that. Instead of just spending, we need to spend and circulate that money amongst us a lot more than we do.
We're, for those who are watching us, and I'm kind of puzzled when it comes to spending money on each other. And I know that that's another, but we have never even learned how to even interact in conversations about that. Where we have seen religion, and I want to hope I'm not saying nothing wrong, so I'll be in jail again. Because then all of them will call up because they are in the cage of mindset when a brother talks about religion. And they act like they own it, they rule it. Or if I say something about a politician in the city, they'll get mad like and I'm trying to figure out that we don't have a clue where we've been blindsided and we are in a cage and know that we've been free for years, but we are still in a cage mentality. And I read a book where T.J. Jake talked about a lot of people are afraid to go in the wildness. I'm out here in the wildness. When I come on this show, this is all new and familiar. For those who go out in the jungle or go out at nighttime in the woods by yourself, that's a familiar, unfamiliar. But because I had learned about instinct, and a lot of y'all don't never use your instant gratification because you've never been through it. See, half of y'all can't survive anyway because y'all stuck in the cage, so y'all couldn't even survive. Even dealing with the COVID-19 where most people, we know that 400-something people had died. But it's like a war. Some people gonna die from this and some gonna survive.
That's right.
I'm gonna be the survivor. And I don't like that. I'm not going to use no old slogan, knock on wood. And we use all these old slogans. Well, maybe out of 1,000 people think I ain't going to make it. See, we have listened to so many old slogans in the community that I come from. And then y'all listen to these old money bags people that worshiping you and place your hand on you. And I'm watching some of these new young guys. And I told the guy that I had on my show, but he's a great young man, y'all coming down the dozen. It's millions of y'all preaching the word. And that want to do the same thing. But nobody's preaching about digital money. Nobody is singing about a new wave of taking your money. Why is the industry has not marketed this thing, but I see it on social media, but I haven't even seen it on TV? And why it's not on TV? Like we saw all this election commercials, but why they're not really talking about stocks 24 hours or doing a radio show or a TV show about the process of money? Can you tell our audience why they're not doing that?
Yeah, well, one reason they're not doing it because they don't want you to know that the money is melting. They don't want you to know that the whole system is melting. I got the graph here, right? You see that graph? It's showing you the money and what you could have got for $20. So what you could have got for $20 years ago.
In 1928.
You got a whole shopping full of cart stuff outside the bag. I don't know if all the cameras can see that.
They probably can.
Maybe take
they can see it right there.
Take a quick picture of it or something. But and you go from 1928 having all that stuff all the way to 2017, your cart almost empty for the $20.
You ain't lying with $20.
So at 2020 you got a bag. You know, you might as well not even get a cart. You're just gonna have a bag. But then you see the same metrics for Bitcoin. 2011, you could only get a little teeny bit of stuff if you had a Bitcoin. When you get up here in 2017, look at all the stuff you get for Bitcoin. And even now, 2021, you got a $30,000 Bitcoin now. So you buying a car now with your Bitcoin, and you know you getting a down payment on your house and stuff like that with one Bitcoin now. But just here, a few years ago, good 10 years ago, if you just would have had one Bitcoin, it wasn't really worth much. But now you see that, you see the price of Bitcoin going this way, and you see the price of the dollar going that way. So one is going up and one is going down. So now if Bitcoin is just one cryptocurrency, so you have many that's coming out. So you have a dollar that's going straight down, and then you have all these other currencies that had the potential to just skyrocket. So folks who are in the know, the ones who are in the know, is they're saying, well, why would I tell the masses so they can buy it up and run the price up? Let me get as much as I can get, start accumulating and accumulating. So they're accumulating in the background, buying it all up. Then once they get their bags full, then they say, all right, now y'all can get it. That's
Wow.
what they do.
You know, you just showed me something, and I don't know where I've been at. And for those who are watching us on Instagram and those who are watching us, knowledge is very important for those who want to live and survive. I didn't say school knowledge. See, they have taught us, and we are seeing that schools are shutting down. Some of the big universities. We're seeing that they have cut the cord, and they already knew that they had education inside their homes early before we did that, mothers and fathers. But our people always bank on what we see on TV and social media, where, trust me, educated people already got their kids the stuff they need to survive. We always follow the old way and never create nothing new. They already got schools set up for their kids, that those who are financially able. I don't have a problem spending my money to my grandson to pay what I pay every month for him to get the same education with the other people. I'm smart on that, but also because he have a grandfather that is looking in another direction and educating him, like I always tell him, you gotta pay close attention, because once I become a great-grandfather of digital money in the new way of technology, I maybe have not been the swiftest one in my high school class that maybe had all the A's. My radio show, I maybe got on my radio show later than most people. Been doing it for 35 or 39 years, but they still haven't got the big break when it comes to money. I have known that everything I have done, but I was following behind people. Now I'm doing my own thing. See, now I know it's greater, and I ain't got to look over my shoulder, or I don't have to worry about they don't want me to come in, or somebody will call them, tell them, man, don't go on Showtime show. You'll mess your credibility up being with him, because he always talking about politicians. And they worrying about somebody giving them $5,000 grant. Hope I'm not saying nothing wrong. So we have watched the behavior of for those who live up Mount Airy, make it instant, and lived in Winfield. Now we're seeing pop stores in Mount Airy, where one time when you moved up in Mount Airy in 1964, because we moved in Winfield in 1960, we got a caller. Caller, Philly Out Radio.
Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. How you doing?
I'm good. This is Rita.
Hey, Rita, how you doing?
Okay, good.
Good. I thank you for calling. Was you watching the show on Instagram or YouTube?
I just watched it on YouTube just now. I was kind of busy a little bit earlier, but I tried to tune in just now because I got a little bit of extra time.
Good.
But I'm just on YouTube actually, but I wanted to comment on the gentleman, on that topic about why we can't seem to get where we need to get as black people. How like he was saying, how the stores, how we would have a store, and we would, and we as people, we go there and expect to get a deal or a cheaper price, because it's like, because we're the same race, so automatically we assume that they're supposed to be, like giving us a break. But what we don't understand is that, maybe maybe they would give us a break in their stores, black-owned stores, if we help them get to the place they need to get to so that they can give us a break later on down the line because they're struggling and trying as well. But us as the consumers, we are just broken people, period. We're broken, and the reason why we can't really heal, to me, is because we're too busy still digging and picking with the sword. And the sword is just representing our situations. We keep going back to what we did not have or how it was 100 years ago, but it's not there anymore. And so if we stop picking at old stuff and get healed and stop digging at that sword, we will get healed and we won't be broken people no more. We'll understand and know how to help someone else be successful. But that's what I wanted to, comment on because I was understanding that and I was questioning myself. Wow, how we can't seem to, like to pull together in that. But because we're still broken. We are still broken people.
Yeah. Well, I think you're correct, and I like what you said because that's what we got to do. We got to move. That's what I'm here to even explain some of this, like. Moving toward the future with technology, we actually going to take this thing and use it because what some people don't understand is like some people look at it and they'll say, well, I don't know if you heard when we was talking about cryptocurrency, but that's one of the topics we was talking about. We got all of it ties in together though, but we have cryptocurrency and you got people out here saying they don't want to use it. Some people that's seemingly in the no conscious people because it's going to enslave them. You hearing this kind of talk. This is the same talk that I heard when the internet was coming out that kept me away from the internet back in, I think I got my first email maybe 2007, 2008, the first time I ever used the email because I was trying to stay away from the slavery that was the internet. And now here come crypto, the same thing is, it's the slave system, it's this, is that. It's always when the new technology is going to enslave you and entrap you, it's like they seem like they put that out in our communities to keep us away from it. Then we stay away from it and then wind up using the technology 20 years later anyway, you're in it. So what's the sense in staying away from it when you're going to be in it anyway? Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody's on all kind of social media and they're using the technology. So, take advantage of it while you can. And while this great reset is about to happen, we should all be taking advantage of it, making some money. Opposed to coming in on the tail end of it being used. And any tool you got, it's like a hammer. You can build a house with it, or I can hit you in the head and kill you with it. Cryptocurrency the same way. I'm not in love with cryptocurrency or none of that, but I see it as a tool and a way that we can get out of some of the situations we're in.
Rhea, how you doing? This is Showtime, the Hype Man on Philly Hot Radio. You said something that stuck with me about going to the same sword and know that it's a sword. And I like that comment you said, and that stuck with me. And because I want to say that if I got a sword and I don't fix it and I don't know how to heal it, I'm going to go right back to that same sword and allow it to get effective. And when you said that we have an affective disease that is spreading with the old way of conducting when we don't see clearance of something new. I've probably been the one said that I'm not going to get a beeper, but I finally got a beeper. Or I ought to be the one said I'm not going to be on social media. Or I ain't going to be on no Instagram. I ain't going to be on Facebook. Oh, that's a bunch of. But what happened was they tell us that, and our people mindset will do that. And then you have a lot of people don't realize, but the technology is the university of what's going on in the 21st century. Just like they're finding ways to build new collard greens and beets and veggies and going into a whole new veggie thing, where we're still eating meats from the supermarket where they've been shot up with all kinds of diseases, where they're going in a whole new way, even with the water and the food way, because long as we go with the old way, they're not. Then 20 years down the line, we're going to see more death And they're trying to eliminate popularity along with the old way of the way that religion has dominated the community that we come from. So we have never been excited of something new. It takes years and years for us to get in it. That thing you said about the old sword has never got healed in our community. You said something that was powerful, Rhea, and I want to make that clear to you what you said. Maybe you didn't know how big it was. That was a hell of a statement where we got so many swords. Matter of fact, we got about 5 different swords on our ass, but we can't see it. Because if I heal it, then I can get moving. See, if I heal it, then I can start looking in other ways and start going in another new direction. Because I know that the old sword, and because I stayed in it long enough, I got about 5 different swords on my ass because of the community of not going with the digital in the new way. Real, you don't know what you said today on YouTube today. And I want to thank you for what you just said. That was a powerful message that you said. What made you use that term of a sword, of us having a sword that's on your body and the temple of your mind and your spirit? And see, that's a spiritual thing you just said. Even though people might look at, he talking about a sword. No, she just said a sword that never got healed it in our community, and we went 50 and 60 and 100 years with a sword, but no one never found a way to heal it. What made you say that today, that topic?
Well, I think what it is that, I was just relating on the gentleman thing, and to me, hello?
Yeah,
we here.
To me, it's like I say sword because we wanna stay in the mind frame that we are. So if we pick at the situation or the sword, then it will become infected. And the more we pick at it, the more infected it would be. And the more infected it would be, the more it'll mess up our thinking, our brains, and then it will allow us to stay comfortable. We're trying to find a reason to stay comfortable and not growing intelligently. So if we mess with a sword, mess with a situation long enough, this is what we want to do. I don't want to grow because if I grow, I'm going to heal, and if I heal, that means I'm gonna have to start getting smart. I'm gonna have to use my brain. I'm gonna have to, do things that I'm not comfortable doing, because so many of us are so stuck in being simple and foolish and jokeful and laughing and thinking, this is the way to be cool. And that's what we do, and that's why I say it's it's a sword. We are broken. We are broken, and we don't want to get sick because if I get sick, that means I have to become smart. My brain, I'm gonna have to use my brain. I ain't never used my brain before. You crazy? I like this like it is.
Wow. I enjoyed your conversation. For those who know, she is the owner of Sassy. Versace, Chicks fashion show. One day she told a story to me, and for those who know that I'm a storyteller, and she explained to me where her spiritual God and she belonged to, but she found strength through her own self and her own walk by being among other people, was jealous of her gift that she realized she didn't have. She talked about the sewing machine, where she never knew nothing about a sewing machine. She never knew nothing about material, all that. And she shared with me, if you don't mind, I tell a little bit of your story, because a great story is a great storyteller. Is good for the audience, where God can take you in a new direction. And because if she never did that, she would have got some swords and would never got acknowledged of how to run a fashion business, or how to measure dresses and how to measure the skirts or her different types of outfits that she makes. And she talked about how she went in the store and the spirit kept telling her, but she said only got a certain amount of money or $110 in her pocket, and you keep telling me buy this big old sewing machine. So she kept putting it within. the spirit kept letting her to buy this sewing machine. She said, I never sewed before. So how you keep telling me go get a sewing machine? But what happened was because she did something and stepped away from the old cage and a familiar where people are familiar staying in the same position. So what she did was she went on her instinct and the gratification stuck with her. So what happened was she knew that she had 110, but God knew there that he had something there at that place where someone was in the back that was only worth but the value was $59. She said, I know this gotta be, this can't be. So when she told me her story and how she never went to school, just like I never went to school to be a radio host or learn how to talk to people, this is something that God gave us. And a lot of people, like she said, are afraid to challenge their education or afraid what people say. And I know that the first time she started sewing, she didn't get it right.
That's right.
She might have messed up some measurements. She might have messed up some material. Because he led you that direction. Same thing with dealing with digital coins and dealing with money. Have you ever heard about this new way of money that's coming? Not in our community, but in other people's community that understand the value of making money. Have you ever heard about digital coins?
No, not really.
Well, why don't you explain to her a little bit real quick?
Yeah. Well, we got digital currency. You've never heard of Bitcoin yet?
Nope. She never heard of it.
No Bitcoin. So we got basically you have money now that you can actually control. You can hold. No banks, no middlemen. Nobody give you permission. The Bitcoin, the first Bitcoins came out in 2009. They was probably a nickel or maybe something. Might have been even under a penny. People was giving them away. They were so cheap. That was back in 2009. Now here in 2021, one Bitcoin is $30,000. So if you would have just spent maybe $100 on Bitcoin back in, say 2010, you would be a millionaire right now off of $100. So you have cryptocurrency, they call all of them, the whole bracket is called cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is just one of them. You have something called Ethereum, you have Litecoin, you have XRP. All of these are cryptocurrencies that you can actually use. They all have value right now because the whole system, the money system, the US dollar, all that is about to be a thing of the past. You're not going to have dollar. You can already see them trying to take the coins off out of the market. One of the reasons they want to take the coins out of the market is because to make a penny costs you more than to make $100 bill, or to make a quarter costs you more than to make $100 bill because it's metal. You have to fashion. There's more energy that goes into making those little coins than actually printing up those dollars, where you just got a piece of paper and put ink on it. Because the fiat money really has no value to it at all. So they're changing the whole system as we speak. So even you with the business, selling dresses, if you would take the way you could actually acquire some Bitcoin is by just letting people know. Say, I accept Bitcoin for payment. So if somebody want to pay you in Bitcoin, I would advise you to accept payment in Bitcoin. And the only thing you would have to do to accept payment is to download a wallet on your phone. You get your own wallet on your phone.
We're going to demonstrate that next Thursday.
Yeah, we're going to do a demonstration next Thursday on it. But I can have Showtime actually even send you a link so you can download a wallet. And whoever the person that's actually paying you, they can actually share and tell you like more how to do it. You just basically going to hold up a QR code, just like, I don't know if you use QR codes in your business for any scanning purposes now, but it's basically you hold up your Bitcoin QR code, they scan it, and they send you the Bitcoin, and it's in your wallet within 10 minutes, and you're holding your Bitcoin. The only difference, if you get paid in Bitcoin, just like I had a friend of mine that sells sea moss now. A lot of people are selling sea moss. So he starts selling sea moss. I said, listen, I'm going to be your first Bitcoin customer. I'm going to pay you in Bitcoin. So he got his wallet. I sent him $30 in Bitcoin. This was maybe 6, 7 months ago. I bought, I think it was a pound of sea moss, whatever he was selling the sea moss. I had to pay him $30. That $30 today is worth $120 the last time I talked to him. So instead of him taking that money and repurchasing, buying goods with it, he just held that Bitcoin in his wallet, and now it's worth 120. If he holds it for another 2 or 3 years, who knows where that price might be? That same $120 may be $400 or $500, might be a couple thousand. It just depends on what the price of Bitcoin will be. So I implore any business owner to at least take a look into getting Bitcoin, because there's 3 ways to get Bitcoin. You can set up a mining machine, which Showtime have one. I have one myself. You can actually purchase Bitcoin off the exchange, or you can accept it as payment for goods, business, or service.
Well, just like Cash App and MasterCard, when Cash App came, they had people to join in to start the Cash App movement. Just like Visa. Visa started with somebody going to people and talking about how you can take your Visa card all over the world. And the same thing with MasterCard. She just hung up. So basically, for those who are watching us, maybe she went got excited and maybe went got some money real quick. See, goddamn. So we want to thank Rhea. Sorry that she couldn't stay on long. So we want to appreciate her. Maybe when it gave her a little more knowledge. But we're about to close the show. But I want to thank Rhea for calling. We appreciate that, and maybe gave her some new information. Was so heavy on her. She had put the phone down like where I've been at. So sometimes things can be more heavier for the caller and maybe overwhelming what we talked about. So we're going to demonstrate, for those who are watching us, we're going to do a live demonstration live on Philly Hott Radio, Showtime the Hype Man Morning Show next Thursday. And I'm going to find out where 4 or 5 months ago I gave. She had to hang up. So good. Said she got excited. She said, "Yeah, well, good." She went to the bank. She had to go to the bank. I told you. So I want to thank everybody that tuned in. So that tells you that people are watching us on YouTube, even though I got shut off. But I found another way.
All right.
I was kind of yesterday, because I'm not seeing views coming on my show, and they're kind of where I had people say they're gonna come on, but because I'm a little guy to people right now, the same thing with MasterCard, Visa, Cash App, Pen Pal, they was little guys that started something big. Because we have so many other radio shows, so many podcasts, it's the people in my era think that my show never gonna take off. But because I invest, I'm like, I wanna be the GOAT of radio. And where I seen where LeBron James didn't go to high school, but he knew that he had a gift to play basketball. But over the years, he had become the face of NBA. A guy that come out from a projects in where he lived at in either Chicago, I'm not sure. But Hegel, a guy that's born and raised in West Philadelphia, where a lot of people is counting me out, and I have recreated myself from Showtime the Hype Man, dancing at the Dell Music Center, where people thought that was a native spirit of me. Now I transformed into a radio when they told me that they can't understand nothing I said. Did you understand anything I said today?
Yeah, I understand everything you said.
Did the callers that called me understood? I understood what they were. So even the mic understood what I said. So because my native tongue, the way that I speak, where professional people and black folks always want to be so professional, talk a certain way. And I know that those who are watching me in the corporate world have been looking for people like me with energy. I have never went to school, do what we do, but I think there was a great show. We have about 8 more minutes. So We're gonna do something big next week.
Well, listen, too, the other thing I wanted to say
There you
too
go.
was that everybody that calls the show, we'll say, on every show I come on, the 10th caller that calls the show gets $25 in Bitcoin. So if y'all the 10th callers, we get 10 calls today, then you're gonna get that 10th caller gets $25.
I like that.
We'll be back next Thursday, the same thing. So anytime I'm on the show, I'll do that.
Well, here we go, giving away $25.
$25 in Bitcoin,
In
not
Bitcoin.
cash. We're
I didn't
getting
say that.
$25 in Bitcoin.
So what we're doing, and not cash, but what we're doing, we want to introduce, for those who are my audience on Philly Hot Radio, that we want to invest coin and give you a whole new way so you can, but you have to get involved in it to see it. So to understand what coins really means, we understand what dollars means and cents and coins. But do you understand the new technology, what we are saying today on this radio show? Where I think the 3 people that called today, where yesterday nobody called. Yesterday, I had a caller yesterday. Take that back, Miss Hope called. So that tells me that, just like my barber said, that he was cutting hair for 30 days and he get one person to get a haircut. He said, but that last day somebody came. Today, at 16th and Erie, he owns the whole building with 7 unions in it. He owned the barbershop and made it a whole block. Because he had that, he kept coming, like I'm doing on this radio show today. Even when he started out buying coins, and he kept bringing my phone and texting me all this stuff. And I told him I'm gonna buy one. And I did. And after Thursday, what I see what happened, because I don't want to work for jobs anymore. I don't want to deal with people on jobs. For me, I know that I'm going to be taken care of anyway, because I know that being around long enough where money going to show up at my doorstep, because I'm hustling now on the radio, so I feel that. So we're looking for callers outside of Philadelphia. Even though I'm from Philadelphia, Philly Hot Radio is a Philadelphia show, but this is for anybody that's in Chicago, New York, Detroit. We want to set up and meet other new people in 2021. I'm looking for new artists, new business people, people that maybe got money and don't know what to do with it. I want to reach out to those new people in 2021. It's all about the new people for me, the new elected officials, the new wave. So for those who are watching me for the first time, Rhea has become a new friend, even though I grew up with her. But she's a new person in my life as a friend. Also, we want to give a shout out to Dr. Hott, that's here every Saturday, invested in Philly Hot Radio, Whistle While You Work. One thing about Dr. Hott, she's been committed to this show. I don't care what she does, how she does things, how she sent, whatever. I'd rather have a person that's committed than have somebody that got all the tools, all the book knowledge, how to talk on that, but then they will come up finding too many excuses because of the knowledge and all the other stuff that's on them. It's a lazy skill and they don't have the determination. We have too many people got degrees, but they lazy with a degree. But they wasn't lazy to get the book knowledge and not lazy like Farrakhan always say, you got many people with degrees on their wall, but they ain't doing nothing with it. So, the show is winding down. I want to thank our listeners. I want to thank everybody that watched this show today. I didn't expect this show to go, we didn't expect this show to turn out this way. And the last caller stood out for me about the sword, where people are afraid to educate themselves when they get a certain age. Wow. So we want to thank everybody that called in. My name is Showtime the Hype Man on Philly Hot Radio. I got a radio show. Hi. and good morning. This is Showtime the Hype Man Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon on Philly Hot Radio. Callers, call in at 484-477-6348, or you can go to www.phillyhotradio.com and stream live on YouTube and Facebook Live. See ya!